Hi Pisces, welcome to your monthly tarot reading with me, Raphael Ray from Radiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you as always. Thank you so much for being here. So before we start, I would like to bless both of these decks with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance, and I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise and they help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So your actions and your interactions with the world at large in the month of May. So you've had one card pop straight out before anything else, and you get the Justice card. So this means that your actions and your interactions this month are all going to be about making decisions, about making final decisions. This is going to be a month where you decide to really start to tie up loose ends. And I say that because although the Justice card, is ruled by Libra, and it does represent contracts, all things legal, signing documents, getting the paperwork together. Or I always say to people when I see this card, cross your T's and dot your I's, read something and reread it and get a second opinion. Just because when you're dealing with things with the Justice card, it tends to be things that once they're written, it's kind of hard to unwrite them, and that's why it represents the law. It's hard and it's fast, and it is the law is the law, and that is kind of it. And when you see the Justice card, it very much talks about those kind of things and those kind of experiences. As it pertains to your actions and your interactions, this for me feels like a month that you're going to start to really tie up loose ends. You're going to come to conclusions. But the other part of the Justice card is it actually represents choice. It's very similar to the Lovers card in that respect because of the balance. It represents you choosing an outcome. It represents you choosing a direction. And and in that fashion, the fact that it falls in your actions and your interactions with the world at large, this is the things that you do. And this kind of says to me that this month's going to be all about you sort of closing down all of the old cycles, all of the things that you've previously been doing. It's about you making the decision to finally move forward, to finally step forward. For those Pisceans of you, and I know there's a few of you, this is about you finally stepping out of the rut. This is about you saying to yourself, right, you know what, I've wallowed in this feeling and this experience for long enough. It's time for me to snap the hell out of it now. And a big part of doing that is very much having to make the decision to do so. Don't get me wrong, obviously, if you're feeling a certain way, if you're down, if you're depressed, if you've had external factors that you can't control, those are always contributing factors. However, with a lot of change in life, you have to make the conscious effort and you have to make the choice. You have to make the choice to move beyond what you're feeling. And with your actions and your interactions, this kind of says to me that you're now looking to close a lot of old chapters. You're now looking to move forward with a lot of things in your life, and the way that you choose to move forward is by making that decision. I'm going to move forward. In order to do so though, I have to tie up the loose ends. So this, and the other part of this as well, is you're going to be seeking satisfactory conclusions for all people involved. So whatever is coming to a close, or whatever it is that you're choosing to move away from or be done with, this is like the moment where you say to yourself, do you know what, I don't want revenge, I don't want one-upmanship, I don't want any of that, I just want this over. So and this could even be some kind, in some respects this could be relationships of some sort. Even though this is your actions and interactions, your fire sector, I kind of feel like this is you making the conscious decision to be done with certain things. And unfortunately some situations in life revolve around people. So what an interesting way to start the month off. Very much about closing up old chapters and tying up loose ends for you Pisces, which is great because when you close down the old and you shut that door behind you, another one must surely open in front of you. So your money and your materials this month, let's see what comes up. You have the Knight of Wands. Now the Knight of Wands talks about gallantly just jumping on, just like the knight. He's charging forward, he's ready, he's like, yeah, let's go, let's fucking do this. And that's really good because when you close down certain chapters, other ones open for you. Now the thing with the Knight of Wands is it's fiery, it's passionate, it's feisty. This is about an experience of tapping into a deeper, more emotive power. So this month you're going to be really proactive about creating more finance or more abundance for yourself. This month you're going to be really proactive. It's going to be more about what can I do to make myself more to make myself more abundant, but more importantly, what can I do to make myself more attractive to prospective bosses, to prospective clients. You know, this is you finding ways to reinvigorate and reinvent yourself, and in doing so you're going to draw to you this ability to generate more abundance. But you're going to be getting really proactive this month and really making the decision to say to yourself, actually, do you know what, I'm pretty awesome, and what I have to offer is pretty awesome, and therefore it should reap certain types of reward. And it's kind of like one of those things, you know, it sounds really cliche, but think and grow rich. And that's kind of the experience that I see you having this month, because the fire wands is fire, and fire is all about your actions and your willpower. It's about what you desire. And you know, the Knight of Wands is about charging forward and making something happen. It's about you instigating change. And the fact that this falls in your money and your materials, to me, kind of feels like, you know, it's like you're putting that energy out there to say, look, this is what I'm good at. This is the package that I offer, and I expect to be I expect to have recompense in line with what I'm offering. You know, it's like the quality that I give comes at a certain price, and the understanding of that and accepting nothing less than that. So your money and your materials also says that this will be the month where you decide to travel. If you don't necessarily go on this trip, on the trip this month, you will certainly put down a deposit and make a commitment to some form of travel at a later date in this year. So for some of you, it will be you traveling only a short distance this month. For others of you, this is about you going somewhere that is hot and sandy. This is a place, you know, you're making the decision, you know, I want to be spontaneous, and in order to do so, in order to press the reset button in my life, I need to make change happen. And sometimes the best way to make change happen is to change your environment. When you change your environment and change your environment drastically, like going on holiday on a spontaneous whim, that new environment, those new people, that new culture, that new outlook on life, and that new stimuli that comes into you and into your soul and into your psyche stimulates and generates change within you, and therefore that ripples out and then brings back, you know, your new awareness. It brings back the physical manifestation of the internal shifts and vibrations and energies that you're holding on an inner level. So it's a really exciting month for money, because it means that, you know, how big do you want to make it? How much money do you want to make? How much do you want people to see you as worth? What do you believe your value is? You know, you've been doing a lot of deep work on changing your values about yourself over the last couple of months. And this month, I think you're just taking it further by making it real, you know. But yeah, definitely a lot of change on the horizon for you. So your actions and your interactions and your money and your materials, we're going to look at those two cards together. So this is your air, and this is, because Justice is Libra. Libra is an air sign. This card, the Knight of Wands, is it's actually Sagittarius, if you wanted to, you know, call it a person, because it's mutable fire, you know. So the Knight of Wands, and the Knight of Wands is changeable, it's mutable, but also it generates and persists for change. You know, it wants movement. You've got air and fire there, which are complementary elements, and they're kind of saying, you know, it's about how big do you want to take it? How much do you, you know, what do you want people to see you for? What do you want people to know your worth as? So in your communications, you have, oh, this is great. So in your communications, you have the Page of Pentacles. Now the Page of Pentacles, unlike, so the aces of a suit and the pages are very, very similar, because they represent new beginnings of sorts. They represent, you know, things that we just get off the ground or that we just start. And very often the Page of Pentacles is a small business or it's a project, it's something that you treat like your baby but isn't an actual child. It can be, you know, certain other cards, you know, along with this would pertain to that. But so far you've got 3 of the elements here as well. You've got the air, you've got the fire, and now you've got the earth. So far you already have a really good solid foundation, you know, for creating something. So your communications this month take on a practical stance. Your communications this month are very much about what you can generate for yourself, what you can create for yourself. Your you know, your communications this month take on a really practical, and almost even pragmatic sort of approach as well. This is very much about you saying, okay, I might be a Pisces and I might be connected to all there is there and all the rest of it, but this is very much about you getting a handle on you know, your style of communication. What do you want to say? What do you have to say? There's a massive bee that's just flown in my window. Hello little dude, I will give you some sugar or some honey in a minute, but for now just stay there. I'm a bit odd like that. I try not to kill anything because you know, whatever, everything is a sentient being, and if I can get away with shooing them out gently then I will do so. Sorry, I'm completely sidetracking here. The other thing as well, I'm going to go back to that because bees in themselves, you know, they're messages. Anyway, so the Page of Pentacles in your communications means that your communication this month is going to take a very practical stance. Your communication this month is going to really start to drive towards, you know, not just in the opposition about closing things off, but this is about what you can build now going forward. This is about you looking to, you know, certainly for travel. Some of you will be traveling for business this month. Some of you will be finding people of other cultures, of other ways of doing things. This is about looking outside of what's familiar and comfortable to you and bringing those ideas down to a practical level so that you can start to create something brand new for yourself, and that in itself is really exciting. These two in opposition, so whatever loose ends you're tying up and whatever doors you're closing, that's laying the foundation. And you know, by you verbalizing this as well, and sometimes it's not enough just to make the change or the shift internally, you have to talk about it. You have to, you know, one of the books that I read about manifestation says it's not enough just to think it or feel it. You actually have to talk about it. You have to let people know, you have to let the universe know that you are serious about this. And one of the ways that you do that is by speaking about it, and by you speaking on a practical, grounded level and really voicing your opinion. Is, you know, to speak a thing is to collapse the wave. When you speak it, it actually has to start coming back to you. It's very much that, you know, that kind of experience. When you mix your money and your materials with your communication, you start to understand that by being in a different place, by being in a different environment, by interacting with people of different cultures, of different ideas or different backgrounds, you start to get a real understanding of what it is about your approach to things that needs to change on a practical basis, so that you can effectively start to generate or create the things that you want. So that's quite exciting, because it suggests that new ways of doing things are making their way into your lives, but it also says there's going to be some surprise conversations this month that really give you a different, altered perspective on things. And then finally, in your heart and your hearth, now this is a very interesting turn of events. So you're the only, I think you're, one of 2 signs out of the whole zodiac reading that I've done this month that had 2 major arcana cards come up in their actual reading, because obviously I pull 1 extra card as your key to the month, and you get the Emperor. This is interesting. So your heart and your hearth is about your emotions, your intimate bonds. It's about your relationships, familial friendships, all of that stuff. Now, I remember giving a friend a long time ago now, maybe 2 years plus, a reading, and I remember telling this person that they would meet an Aries person, and that Aries person would end up being their partner, and that this person would be the person that they settled down with for a long time. So to see this card after I've seen this person, this friend of mine, go through all kinds of ups and downs and all kinds of, you know, sometimes very Piscean traits, and then see this reading and know that things are going to change drastically for everyone this year, and know that Pisces has been on this mad journey, especially for the last 2 months, closing up the old cycle, making themselves ready for a new one, going to a different place, and, you know, finding someone or something that changes their perspective on everything, and then having this in their relationship sector. And I told them that this person would be an Aries. The Emperor card represents the sign of Aries. So this is really, really exciting. And I hope that he's watching, because I really believe that this is going to be the person that comes forward and just knocks that person for 6 and makes them happy. So if you are single, the person that you are going to find yourself, for a lot of you, if you are a single Pisces, this is about you meeting somebody that is an authority in what they do. This is you meeting a person that just, you know, has command and has presence. Somebody that just completely changes your view on everything. Somebody that comes forward and just makes you think like, wow, you know, I'm smitten. I don't even know why. Like, I've only just met you, but there's something about you that really draws me to you. This person is going to be authoritative. This person is going to be a genuine master or a leader in their chosen field. This person is going to be smart and learned, but ultimately they will command respect and presence. The thing about the Emperor card is, yes, it represents institutions, so it can be like a police office, it can be, you know, it can represent police officers, lawyers. I mean, the fact that it's coupled here with the Justice card, this tells me that this is somebody in a very official capacity. This is somebody that is really, you know, at the height of their game. Whatever their field is, this is somebody that has achieved their stripes. This is somebody that has done the work. You know, whatever their accolades are in the world is irrelevant. This will be somebody that commands respect in their chosen field because they know their shit, and that is the bottom line to it. So for those of you that are single, this will see you being really drawn to somebody that knows what they're talking about. This will be you being drawn to somebody that really has a deep understanding of what it is that they do. For those of you that are coupled, you know, the Emperor card also represents commitment. It represents something that you choose to establish, that you choose to be a part of. It represents the institutions within the grand, you know, so the Hierophant card, which is number 5, would represent the status quo. Like, it would represent the wider society, whereas the Emperor represents the institutions that make up the wider society. You know, so like I said, your law offices, your universities, schools, hospitals, all those kind of things. This also, like I said, it represents Aries, and it's ruled by Mars. You know, this is about passion, it's about drive, this is about somebody that knows their stuff, and somebody that's really deeply involved in what they do, somebody that lives their path as opposed to just talks about it. For those of you that are coupled, this is you taking things to the next level. If you're newly coupled, it's about making the commitment to move in. If you are already living together, it's about making the commitment to get married. If you're already married, it's about making the commitment to have a child. It just takes everything that you have and it makes it deeper, it makes it more committed, it makes it more official. It takes it from being, you know, one stage to an evolved stage or state of what it already is. In your familial ties, this talks very much about people coming to you, you know, your friends, your family this month. If you find a lot of people are asking you questions, if you find a lot of people are like, oh, you know, I need your opinion on this, what do you think about that? It's not that they're testing you, it's not that they're questioning you, it's not any of that, it's actually that they're seeking your opinion. When the Emperor card shows up for you in any way, shape or form, it means that a part of you in some aspect of your life is donning the mantle of being the go-to person. So that's really, really exciting. I mean, really exciting. And then finally, your key to the month. the Wheel of Fortune. Beautiful card, absolutely beautiful card. So the Wheel of Fortune is about the ever-changing cycles of the world. It's about the ever-changing cycles of the life. It represents luck, it represents abundance. Now the thing about this is, this wheel here is actually Jupiter. It represents the planet Jupiter, and therefore it represents luck, it represents expansion, it represents growth, it represents the law, it represents protection. I really feel this for those of you that are single. You meet somebody that is in some kind of legal slash lawyery slash, this is somebody that is official in some kind of capacity. You know, whatever it is that they do this at the height of their game. Whatever it is that they have a title of some sort, you know, and it could be anything from a Reiki master right through to a professor, you know, and the scope really is that broad. Like I said, for others of you, this is about you qualifying. This is about you stepping up. This is about you finally being seen for all of the gifts that you have. Now in numerology, we always simplify. So this is number 10. So the Wheel of Fortune is actually a nod to the Magician. So the Magician is about directed force. It's about directed willpower. Whereas the Wheel of Fortune is about universal power and universal blessings. What is Jupiter? Jupiter is known as the Great Benefic. This is like the touch that you get from the universe that says, bloop, I'm blessing you. I'm going to make what you do from here on in turn to gold. So if you have, you know, this is a month where you can be really, really lucky if you are offered any opportunity to travel, even just a short distance, especially a long distance to somewhere hot or warmer than a climate that you live in. You must go. Be spontaneous, because there is something on the other side, or someone that is waiting for you to change things for you and to bless you in ways that you cannot anticipate at this moment in time. Very, very exciting stuff. Let me know how this plays out for you. I wish you an abundance of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance itself. Have an amazing month, and I will see you very soon for more videos. Take care, Pisces.